Hey guys, what's going on? Nananki here, bringing you another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. I had a whole bunch of footage from this last year sitting in a folder, unlabeled and unsorted, and finally decided to sort through some of it, and pulled out a bunch of rounds on Upward. Figured there has to be at least one unifying factor, whether it's the same class the whole time, or the same map, or something at least. I like that Pyro going in the hole, like, yeah, you know, you got a pit there to your left. Kind of a thing to be concerned about. Yeah, the unifying factor in this video is not class, it is map. It's all on Upward, some on defense, some on offense, all random. Now in this first round I'm playing Pyro, and I only play Pyro. Even though I had an inclination to change to Demo Man to try to deal with sentry guns at the last point, I just felt like playing Pyro. And you know, sometimes you don't necessarily want to play the class that's going to be the most effective in a given situation. You just feel like playing a certain thing, and, you know, to hell with the potential efficiency or inefficiency. You know, and I felt like playing Pyro on this particular day, and so I do not change. As a matter of fact, I was just saying on the live stream the other day that I think it's more useful, more beneficial, I think, to judge your own performance as opposed to the performance of the team that you happen to be on. You know, if you've got a bunch of people doing badly or diving off cliffs while fighting soldiers, you know, you can't necessarily do anything about that. I think I was trying to knock him off the cliff there, because he wasn't really coming at me seriously. I wasn't trying to go at him seriously either. But I am seriously trying to get the cart in, especially since it's like on the cusp. All I've got to do is run in, throw some fire at it, maybe compression blast a few people off of it, and bing bang boom. Done, done, done. Unfortunately, that does leave me lined up very, very well for that Pyro to blow me off the cliff. I got his medic, you know, in the exchange, so I'll take that as a win, even though it's more or less a loss. But I did find a consolation prize, a random teleporter unattended, and at first I was just going to camp it, and I was like, I'll just blow it up, to hell with it, and I still got to camp somebody, so unfortunate for him, fortunate for them, I can put people out when they're on fire. Scout does not need my services, but there's that Pyro trying to knock more people off ledges. I'm just trying to put people out. He didn't even need to be extinguished. But, of course, anybody with a red shirt on does need to be ignited, and I'm all about that. Unless, of course, they happen to be another Pyro, because they're immune to Afterburn. They're not immune or even reduced damage to the normal flamethrower, but, of course, having no Afterburn means that you're probably going to end up with a higher DPS from just shooting him with this shotgun. That is, of course, assuming that there are rounds in it. Even depleted loading one shot at a time still does pretty reasonable damage. So I'm taking this opportunity to circle around to their spawn and hopefully blow up a teleporter, but what do I find? I find 3 people utterly not even looking in my direction, and one of them, of course, was able to escape the scout, got it back into spawn, got his health back, put himself out, shot me with the force of nature, knocked me halfway across the map, and I don't want to deal with a scout because I am only medium range and he's fast. So, waiting for somebody to walk by so I don't just walk out in front of random red guys, and I think that was probably the right decision to make because this guy did not even react to being burned in the back. Me, personally, I'll whip around and pull off one shot, maybe just one last stab at my enemy who's killing me. That way, at least I've done something to them. Maybe a little bit of damage, maybe make him go off and get health, or maybe have a chance for another teammate to kill him. And I think being calm and taking your time and focusing on your shots is crucial, as opposed to sporadically firing all over the place and trying to fire as fast as possible just for the sake of it. Like, don't even hold the button down when you're shooting at people. Click when you've got them in your crosshairs, you know? It's like, don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. It's like, don't fire until you know the crosshair is on top of them and it's tracking them. Then and only then should you click. In fact, I think the Ambassador probably most exemplifies this, because you have to wait for the reticule to cool down to its normal perfect accuracy if you want to get headshots with it. If you lay on the trigger, you're really using it much less effectively than just a normal revolver, so why are you even using the Ambassador? And this guy, all I wanted to do was get him off the cart, maybe off the cliff, but obviously not much of a chance of that with the angle I was trying to work with there. But I did go chasing after him, just to deny him the opportunity to go get more health and come harass my team further. But I was liking the way we were moving at this stage of the map. I felt like we were moving fairly effectively. We were taking out sentries as we needed to, and I felt like I was working the fringes effectively enough as a Pyro that I didn't need to worry too much. Although I didn't manage to squeak by there. Level 3 sentries do pin you to the wall very nicely and cease all forward motion. There's only 2 minutes left, but I still at this point was reasonably confident. It's just a matter of time until we manage to blow up that sentry, and then we'll push around this corner and it'll be no problem. But no, alas, no one on my team with sentry destroying weapons was up to the task. But of course that doesn't mean as a Pyro that you cannot engage a sentry if you can corner it or get it from around an edge. I think they in fact tend to call that edging a sentry. Same rule kind of applies to heavy. You can be just far enough around the corner to see it without being far enough around the corner to be targeted by it. And I totally misread which way that sniper was moving. Was nowhere close on that one. I do, however, think it's kind of funny that he hit me with the Girardi and then just, like, forgot about me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just go engage this heavy now. Like, did he think I was gone? Like, the Girardi teleported me away? That'd be a cool item, though, a grenade that teleports someone to a random location within, say, 100 meters. That'd be pretty jarring. And here's what you don't do when you Uber a Pyro. You do not hide behind him, because I cannot push through 3 sentries and a heavy worth of fire. Actually, I think it was 2 sentries and a heavy, and a Pyro for that matter, but the point remains valid. You cannot push through all that crap without the medic running in front, and that is, like, the #1 key. I like that reflect. #1 key to giving a Pyro an Uber, and a heavy for that matter too, is run in front of them. And I was so caught there on those stairs. That guy had like no health left too, so if I hadn't switched to the shotgun, I maybe would have killed him, but I really, really don't think I was going to kill that sentry gun by myself up on that corner. And I just said good game to them. I was pretty sure my team wasn't going to catch that point. The entire corner was held effectively by 1 level 3 and a Pyro pushing back an Uber. I don't know about you, but after rounds like that, I need a break, and that's exactly what I did. I went and took a break. I didn't even disconnect from the server. When I came back, I saw that Blue had already gotten the first point, and I saw that we did not have any engineers. I figured, hey, we have no Engis. I will go mini-sentry Engi, throw mini-sentries all over the place, throw pistol bullets all over the place, and see what kind of results I can get. I know the Wrangler can be amazingly useful, especially for the mini-sentries, because it ups the rate of fire to a point where you can actually kill something in a reasonable amount of time. As opposed to the normal pew-pew-pew, which gives a soldier or a heavy or whatever plenty of time to take it out. I love that guy too, because I had 1 health point, a single health point, reinforcing my philosophy once again that you should always, always, always pick up all the health you can and go into combat with as much health as you can muster, because you never know what the margin of victory is going to be. And the number of times I have walked away from an engagement with 1 health just tells me unequivocally that you should always go in with the maximum amount you can possibly muster. And as always with the mini-sentries, good angles are as important as surprising locations. And that particular spot encompasses both of those particular traits. I think it's both somewhat surprising, up on the ledge, on the wall, effectively, and at the same time it can see right across the room there, so it's pretty hard as a scout like that to notice it and still have time to get away. Odds are good that the same time you notice it, you're not getting away. We did have a second Engi at this point, though, also running a gunslinger, so we had 2 mini-sentries cropping up at random locations. And man, that scout, even if I hadn't been there to shoot at him, he was still getting edged out by the wall, blocking him from hiding behind the cart. I thought that was an ill-thought-out procedure there. Unfortunately for me, though, I cannot go head-to-head with a heavy, or toe-to-toe with a heavy, so I've got to employ some kind of trickery, you know, shooting him from the side and whatnot, but unfortunately there's a demo man behind me as well there. Somehow my sentry lived long enough for me to actually spawn, though they did get the cart all the way up the hill. So I went to destroy my sentry and build a new one because, of course, it was still up, and I did not even have time. I think all I managed to do there was wipe out my revenge crits. So really effective. Kind of disappointing, to be honest. That scout did not see me, and he did not see my mini-sentry either, and he probably didn't see that grenade that was just under him. There's that sniper that took out my gun, and I don't want to run straight at him because it's such a narrow path that lining up a headshot would almost be a matter of just putting the cursor at head level and waiting for me to run into it. But I will put the sentry right out the mouth of the tunnel, that way all the people going over the top will jump down in front of it and hopefully not notice it. And at the same time, cycle around to the top and kill any snipers I happen to come across. And again, I got really lucky in that particular location. Earlier in the video there with the Pyro, too, I caught a guy off in the distance with my last round. I was pretty confident I was going to be able to get him before he got to the health. And then the demo man did basically the same thing, lost so much health, and I was like, yeah, you're not getting to the health either. I'm just going to stack up blue guys next to that health pack. And although I wasted my revenge crit, I had enough teammates behind me that it didn't matter. And I felt like we had reclaimed enough ground at this point that a dispenser would be valuable, and as always, if I'm not quite sure where the most convenient or effective location for a dispenser would be, I put it where the health and ammo already spawn. That way, it's a foregone conclusion if your allies are looking for it, they're going to find it. I've said that in commentaries before, but it bears repeating because it's such a useful fact. dispensers on top of health and so forth. And by sapping my gun first, he kind of gave himself away a little bit. And I wasn't so worried about losing the gun, because obviously I could throw more sentries down with relatively little effort. But I was a little annoyed at losing my dispenser, I think to a scout. But after spending the better part of the last minute of the match dead, I noticed our Engi is in fact using a level 3 now, not a mini sentry, so we have a level 3 and my mini guarding the cart, which makes me pretty confident we're not going to lose it. All the same, I am going and cycling down to the middle of the arena, kind of hoping to come up behind people that might be going for this point here, which I kind of do. Lucky for me, and unlucky for them. If that medic had had an Uber ready, the blue one, I think bad things might have happened, but as it stood, their last-second dive on the cart was insubstantial compared to the defense they ran into. So we were able to hold out that round. It was kind of nice to win one. As much as I said earlier that, you know, you should pay attention to your personal performance and not so much the performance of the team, it is also at the same time the case that it does feel nice to win when the round is over. So the last round on Upward I have is a Spy life, and in fact this is 1 life, 1 round, whatever you want to call it, which really does not happen for me very often because I tend to employ the most suicidal tactics possible at any given moment. I'll take whatever the highest risk, highest reward approach is. That's usually the one I'm gonna go for. And at this point we have a heavy with a Tomislav just camping their spawn. I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, you know, if he had a medic on him, I could feel bad for the blue team, or the red team. I can't feel so bad for him being unable to kill a single guy. And we've got another spy on the team, obviously, who went ahead and took out that sentry there. And I was just kind of chilling on the corner like, there's probably someone I can stab, but I'll wait and see. Rather than force the issue, rather than, you know, apply unnecessary, you know, spy pressure to that situation, it was like, we're overcoming this corner regardless. So I'm just going to hold back, and if something came out like a heavy medic pair, I could jump up and do it, you know, stab whoever. But instead, I just cycled around to their second spawn, and I'm looking for a target, pretty much whoever. I saw a guy walking down below, but he went all the way down below, down the stairs. Not sure why exactly, and can't even go for the soldier. He's getting wiped out by the scout on my team. I am, in fact, able to get this sniper, though. He really should have shot that arrow a lot sooner. He would have had me if he had even been somewhat close to rightly timed there. And I love jumping down from above on someone who's watching their back actively. Like, he literally just checked his back, spun around, and got stabbed. Those are fun moments. This guy, I'm not so sure what he was up to. He was moving pretty slow. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't sure what he was up to as well. Same thing there. You know, people who don't move fast enough, you're probably either on a bad computer or a really, really bad connection. Whatever the case may be, it makes it really difficult to play effectively under those conditions. And not only is your effectiveness decreased, but the effectiveness of, like, a spy against you is increased because you can't turn quite as fast. It leaves your back more open. You know, if your movement speed isn't correct, then it means that I don't have to chase you for quite as long before I can stab you. So all these things just kind of play into the story that it ends up screwing you far more than it screws your opponent for you to be stutter-stepping around right in front of spawn. Got that guy. But I'm heading up top. I really wanted to get this medic and his cohorts. Medic and cohorts. Engi and cohorts is what I meant to say. Even though he's under so much incoming fire that it hardly even matters. There's like half my team is chilling in front of their spawn. I was like, well, if nothing else, I can go push the cart. That'll be what I finish this round up with. Get one more random point, one more random shot on a Pyro, and I managed to get second place for having only joined late and whatnot. I was pretty pleased with that. I've said it before that having a really good round on Spy is as much an indictment of the incapability of your opponents as it is a testament to your capability. Because being in the right place at the right time and having perfect execution is not enough if your opponent turns around and, you know, shoots you in the face with a rocket or a flamethrower or a minigun. Thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. As always, do like it if you liked it, and I will catch you next time. Peace!